Hey folks, how's it going? I'm Josh, and today we're checking out Buying a House, Sarah Millican. Guys, please see and leave your comments below. All our videos based off your comments. If you are subscribed, we check those out first. We also have a Patreon, but if you can't afford to donate to it, that is all good. Just continue to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. That's all we can ask for. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's watch, man, Sarah Millican, a while. I think it's been on about a month.
But I discovered something about myself recently that I did not know. I discovered that I am a workaholic. Haven't always been a workaholic. I think it's much easier to be a workaholic when you love your job, which I do. But before this, when I had a proper job and I worked in an office Monday to Friday, I was not a workaholic. I was very happy at 5 o'clock to go, bye, fuck the lot of you. But I read an article about workaholics by a man called Oliver Burkeman, and he said people are workaholics for one of two reasons. Either they're hiding away from something at home, or they have nothing else going on in their lives. And I realised quite sadly that I fell into the latter category. I had my job, but I didn't really do or have anything else. One of the remedies he suggested to fix this, he said, actively create meaning elsewhere. And that's what I decided to do over the last 12 months, and that is what my show is about. Now, the first thing I decided to do, I decided to buy a house. I'd lived in the same rented city centre flat in Manchester for the last 6 years, and I really wanted somewhere. I wanted a house. I wanted to settle down. I wanted a house mostly because I'd lived in flats for 16 years, and I really missed going upstairs to bed. Not through the fucking kitchen. Upstairs to bed. But I was sitting only a few weeks ago, quite smugly, upstairs in bed, thinking, this is the life. I've arrived. I'm upstairs in bed. And then I thought, shit, now I've got to go downstairs for food. But what I wanted was somewhere that makes me feel the same way my parents' house makes me feel. They've lived in the same house since they got married 47 years ago. Exactly, and this is what I wanted. I wanted somewhere that I could build memory after memory after memory. Now, I was there sort of late summer last year with my sister, the four of us just sitting around with cups of tea around the kitchen table, putting the world to rights. It was lovely. And at the exact same moment, my sister and I both heard the ice cream man. And it was like no time had passed. No words were exchanged between my sister and I. She shot me a look that said, do you want one? And I shot back a look that said, of course I fucking do. She picked up her purse and she ran out of the house. When she came back in, she told me there'd be no children anywhere near the ice cream man, just a 44-year-old woman running towards it. He'd started to pull away. She had to flag him down. And as she flagged him down, he shouted out of the window, come on, missus, you can do it. She came back in with 3 ice creams, one for me, one for her, and one for me dad, because my mum doesn't really like sweet things. And she said, where's dad gone? Because my dad was no longer in the room. I said, he's gone to the toilet. Now, I don't know what your dads are like, but my dad can lose a good 20 minutes, half an hour in there. So she started to sort of lick her ice cream and kind of tidy his, do you know what I mean? Licking hers normally, but then spinning this one round. She was like a fucking machine, licking and tidying, licking and tidying, licking and tidying. This one started to get quite small, and I said, oh, that's not fair on Dad. And she said, well, what do you want me to do about it? I said, I think you should take it to him while he's on the toilet. And she said, well, if I'm going, you're coming with us. So we go upstairs together. Mum and Dad's toilet is separate from their bathroom. And I said to my sister, before you go any further, you must promise me one thing. She said, what's that? I said, you must promise me that when you open that door, you keep your eyes tight shut, because you will never be able to unsee what you are about to say. She promised. She knocked on the door. My dad said, come in, like it was an office. And with her eyes tight shut, she opened the door and handed in an ice cream. And my dad said, I cannot take that. And we thought, quite rightly, because eating an ice cream while you're doing this shit is disgusting, isn't it?
Right?
But my dad said, I'm reading the paper, my hands are full. But my parents have always lived near a park, and I'd always been able to see a tree out of my bedroom window, so that became another priority. I wanted to see a tree out of my bedroom window. Didn't give a shit if it was on a fucking roundabout, just a tree. But it became very clear early on that I'm not massively suited to country living, having lived in the city centre for so long. I drove along a lovely country lane, and I saw a white marquee tent. And instead of thinking, oh, somebody's having a lovely summer party, I just thought, oh, someone's been murdered.
Hey,
One
Taylor.
of the houses I looked at was owned by a couple who were getting divorced. It was very sad. And it was the husband who was showing me around. And I'd realised what was going on straight away, and I decided just to go through it very quickly because it was clearly painful for both of them. Now, I don't know if you've ever been shown around a house or have shown somebody around your house, but there's a degree of stating the obvious involved, isn't there, when they say things like, this is the kitchen. I know. I mean, I call it the biscuit room, but whatever. This is the living room. Yeah, it's another biscuit room. He took me upstairs to a closed door and he said, this is the master bedroom. I said, great. He said, I'd love to show you in there, but I can't. I said, oh, why not? He said, I can't show you in there because there's a lady crying in there, which is sad, but also quite an unusual way of describing his wife when potentially he's the reason she's crying in the fucking first place. But I said to him, look, I'm divorced myself. I understand what you're going through. I know that this is horrible for both of you and you just want to get it over and done with so you can both move on with your lives independently. I understand. You have my total sympathy. You really do. But I also know that you can cry in the bathroom, so fucking move her. So the house I looked at was owned by a really posh lady, so I already hated her. It's terrible, isn't it? I'm not supposed to hate anybody. I only hate posh twats. It's fine. I was going to say, have we got an in, but I've just remembered where I am. Yeah, you're all clapping. There'll be a couple of people at the back from Jesmond going, actually, there are posh people in tonight. But this posh lady was very dramatic in all of her gestures. She said to me, there is underfloor heating throughout. I said, that doesn't impress me, love. I've got slippers. And then as if to hammer it home, she said, there isn't a single radiator in the whole building. And I, because sometimes my mouth kicks in before my brain's had a chance, just said, well, how'd you dry your knickers then? And the friend that I was with said, just chuck them on the floor.
Clever.
But I found a house that I liked and I got a survey done and the survey came back and it meant nothing to me at all. But luckily I've got a friend who's a builder and he said, let me have a look at it and I'll put it into layman's terms for you. I said, smashing. Now give us a cheer if you own your own home. Give us a cheer if you rent. See, up until this point, I'd only ever rented, and I think there are phrases that mean nothing to those of us who rent that the rest of you understand. Because my friend, the builder, said, there is one thing you will need. I said, oh yeah, what's that? He said, you'll need a damp-proof course. And I genuinely said, I haven't got time to go to college. But the house that I bought had a log burner. I've never had a log burner before. I got quite excited about the log burner. Not as excited as my fella did. He just went, oh my God, we'll be able to get a toasting fork. Oh, we'll be able to toast things? And I thought, he does know I've got a toaster, doesn't he? But I went straight out. He went to work, I went straight out and bought a toasting fork. And I came back in, I grabbed a loaf of bread and I thought, I'm just going to sit and work my way through. I fucking love toast. But I couldn't get it to work. And I rang him and I said, I can't get it to work. He said, how can it not work? It's fire and bread. And I told him what I'd been doing. Turns out I should have had the little door open. Might as well have been lying slices of bread on top of me radiators. Or in amongst me knickers on the underfloor heating. Oh, you're right, that's probably too much yeast altogether, isn't it?
Oh.
But when I moved from the flat to the house, I had bits and bobs of furniture, not much, but I had some stuff, and I was trying to work out what would best go where. And I said to me fella, God, I wish I had a tape measure. He said, what do you need a tape measure for? I said, I just want to know if that unit will fit in that alcove. And he said, well, I can sort that out for you. I said, I don't want you to move it. He said, no, I can work it out for you. And I said, have you got a tape measure? He said, no, but I've just got like an instinct about these things. And I thought, fucking instinct. Let's have a look at your instinct, pet. And I said, go on then. So this is genuinely what he did. He went like this. Yeah, that'll fit. I said, is that it? You could at least got your cock out and done 6 inches, 6 inches.
Hello, it's Sarah Millican here. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all of my latest videos.
I think I already
Don't
did.
forget to like.
She's fantastic, man. She's funny. She's funny as shit. Yeah, I already subscribed to her channel. Yeah, This is fantastic. This is funny. She's goofy as shit. I don't really have anything else to say, man. I think every time I watch her stuff, I enjoy it. There was actually, it was like, what do you call? I can't remember. There was one clip I ended up with, like, just watching, like, not on here with her, and her crowd work was really, really good. Like with her again, crowd involvement. I can't remember like the topics. It seemed like a fairly old clip. It popped up on my recommendation, and I was actually probably wait to watch this, but I was eating and I wanted to watch it, so I watched it. I enjoyed it. Her crowd work's really, really good, and her comedy's good too. It's all relatable, and I can relate when like what do you call? Like working at a place you really, really hate and you don't get along with what do you call the people there. That really only happened to me once. I usually get along. I can usually get along with just about anybody. I think the only time I really worked somewhere where I really didn't get along with the majority of the people there was the first Walmart store I was promoted into. I got along with a few people, but like it was a lot of I think because the environment in the store was just it was so bitter. So many people didn't like their job, so a lot of it got pushed back on you, especially being a new person, and a lot of people didn't want to get close to you because they knew you were going to be gone anyway. Because most people didn't last in the store, so some people didn't even try to get to know you or anything. So the first I was promoted into was pretty tough. I didn't like that one too much. Anybody who was there are people who have been there for what do you call a long time that I guess like the stuff that was going on in our problems in the store didn't really bother them because they cycled through so many like actual store managers, and I was just an assistant manager. So those people who have been there like since the store's inception were cool. It was the ones who had only been there for maybe 3-4 years and they were used to something different, and they had become jaded because they hated being there. They hated everything about it. They know what a good store looks like and how a good store is ran, and they didn't like being in that store. The constant cycle of leadership, like new managers leaving, new market managers coming in all the time, changing their like their expectations, and then also cycling through so many associates because the turnover rate was always bad. So just a completely a really bitter environment. So as soon as it was time to go, I was always trying to like run out of there. And in some cases, I wasn't that lucky being a salary manager. I couldn't just run out of there. I was stuck around doing something. So I feel her. But yeah, well, at least I'm happy now. That's all that matters. It's good to get a taste of what bad is, so you know what not to do, and you can appreciate the good a lot more. So, all right, guys, that is all for this one. Hopefully, you guys are happy, safe, and healthy. I'll see you in the next one. Later.